Alright guys, so we're going to make our dry brushing palette here. Just got an old Rubbermaid container. Some of the ones that I've seen made online, a little bit larger, using like some particle board or whatever. I've just got an old Rubbermaid container that I don't care. You can see from the bottom I've already scratched it up some, but I'm just taking my knife, making something for the glue to adhere to. I don't want this to pop out, so I'm just making some marks in it so the glue can sit. I'm just using some Elmer's PVA glue and old crappy brush that I got from the dollar store to do this. It's not complicated. It's not, oh, sorry. It's not difficult what we're going to do. And I got bits and bobs and pieces. I broke out some of my model pieces from my tank models and other stuff. This is an engine kit from a Tiger tank. These are pieces from that. I've got some Tyranid pieces that are left over and extra, some extra pieces of sprue, a couple figures from the tank models, extra Carnifex head, just some extra bits and bobs to put in. But that's what we're going to use here to create this. So I'm just going to put a big old glob of paint down here and then spread it out with my brush. Now, I'm sure there's people who are going to say, you know, you got to do it this way, you got to do it that way. That's how I'm going to do it. You know, I'm just trying to fill in and make this more level because this isn't, you know, completely flat. So that's all I'm doing. And then by using the brush, I'm working this into all those little scratches that I made. So I have good adherence from everything over there. So put some up here on the edges. We'll go a little higher with it. You can see how it's pulling away from the edges down there because it doesn't like the plastic. I cleaned this with a wet wipe beforehand. There was some soap, residue soap and stuff from the dishwasher last time it got cleaned and whatnot. So I'm gonna add a little more. Being very precise with my measurements, mind you. Spread this around. All right, so now we're just gonna stick our stuff down into the glue. I'm just putting this on the bottom just to get some of this off the thing. And I'm not looking for perfection here. This isn't, you know, there is no right or wrong way here. You know, this is to practice my dry brush. This is to just see how much paint I have on my dry brush to make sure that I can get everything done and on there that I want. So I'm not looking for it to be, you know, the absolute best it can be. So just putting stuff down in there. And then all these extra areas, I'm going to go through and add my basing material to in between. One, to lock everything into place, and two, to also add extra grit and texture to work on the dry brush and my dry brush skills. Again, as someone said, you know, it's a newbie skill, it's a rookie skill. You know, I seem to be lacking that one because I'm not very good at it. So that's what this is there, to help me do that. And this is just a dry brush palette is, I believe, what they're calling it. And just help you see how much and to practice your dry brushing. Super easy to make. And this way I can do it, and I can put a lid on this and set it off to the side when it's not in use, when I don't need it. So, you know, I get the best of both worlds. But we're going to set this up. We're going to let this dry. Before we put this bad boy. And put him back through here. And then we'll stick a couple of these guys. Just a couple straight edges. Maybe. Or maybe I won't. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. As you can tell, I'm winging it here. As always, nothing's planned out very well. Let's add a few little bits. There we go. Okay. And we'll save that. We'll make some sprue goo. Maybe with those. Alright, and we'll take my grit box, my basing material, and let's just sprinkle some in. Get some bigger pieces in there first. And then we'll get some finer stuff. A shake and a tap so that it kind of settles into the glue. Move it around. As you can see, I got some loose pieces. Just kind of moving it around to let it find its own little place to stick. I got some extra glue here. Again, this is dollar store brushes, so I don't care if I get some material on it at all. Let's move this back there. My hand out of the way. Just adding some more glue over here to the crystals because it came loose. And we'll follow that up with some of the basing material. That'll help kind of glue it in place while we're drying. And I'm just going to go through and kind of push everything down into it. Making sure we're, sitting in it. That we're sticking. Again, we're not professionals. We're just trying to DIY it here, because I'm not about to spend 20 or 30 bucks to buy something when I can make it myself with leftover pieces. Like the tank model pieces I've had for, probably 8 years now, and I'm not building it anytime soon, so I might as well make use of it. Just add some more glue to the figures and make sure they stick well with each other. Don't want anything popping up. So I'm just kind of using my brush here to spread it around, making sure we're locking it in with all that, and then I'll come back in with my grit. This is actually my basing material I use for all my bases. So there we go. And there we go. That's pretty much all I plan on doing right now. I'm going to let this dry. With the amount of glue I use, it's probably going to be a day or so. Before this comes out and is dried. Sorry, just cleaning up the desk. Before it's dried. So we're going to give it time to set up. And I'll show you the after when we get all that set up and give you a view of how you're supposed to use this thing. All right? All right, guys. See you in a little bit. And so here's the end result. Took a little bit longer for it to dry. It's been a lot of cold weather here. And you can see case in point why, if you, at the beginning of the video, when I went and added the scrape marks to the bottom for it to stick, you can see where this is just peeling off, where I added some to the sides without scraping it up and adding the texture for it to adhere to a little better, because this is totally, staying put, but these other pieces are not. So next stage for this just to be done, I won't do it on camera or anything. It's just a little too cold, but I was going to prime it up with just my normal gray primer, just so it's a little more uniform, just as I like it. And then it's ready to go otherwise. But everything's stuck in there and not coming out. So then I can practice my dry brushing over this stuff and get a better feel for it and get some practice in. So yeah, that's the Dry Brush Palette. I'll probably do a video in the future when I'm going to start using it to get some practice in. Yeah, simple, easy, effective, cheap. Like I said, I made it with just bits and pieces that I had laying around that I was never going to use. So if you got your bits box, and snag some pieces from it. So yeah, I've got a little bit of everything in there, and we're good to go. All right, like, subscribe, comment. It really, I say it helps me out, not just the channel, but it helps me. I'm not doing this to become rich and famous. I do this because it helps me in my mental health journey. that people actually, I'm actually teaching someone something that helps me out. And that's what I enjoy, the teaching aspect of it, not, not the, I want to have a famous YouTuber and all this stuff. That's not what I'm doing here. So just every little bit, I can't tell you the number of, times I look to see, okay, has anyone commented? Has anyone liked the video? And just see the interaction. That's what I enjoy, and stuff. Back here, I've got my Tyranid Warriors. I'm working on a video for that, going over the basics, and doing some alternate poses for them. So I put one of the videos out already. I'm working on the second one. It's just been several really cold days here, but hopefully I'll get the rest of it out there soon. And yeah, appreciate your time, guys. Have a great one.